Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica, and today I'm going to be doing the Coloring Habits tag. This was created by Sassy Coloring. So let's get started. I've got a couple different books to choose from, and my Artilicious pencils. I thought I'd do a little bit of coloring while answering some questions. I am not sure which book I want to color in though first. So I'm trying to decide if I want to finish the one that I started in here. Was it in here? Well, I thought it was. Oh yes, there it is. Yeah, let's work on this one. So I originally started this one with my what are they called? Nuvo glitter markers. And so they're super sparkly. I love them. But now we're gonna use some pencils. So I think I'll work on the rainbow first. There's a lot of colors in there. So we've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. Although there's just 6. Okay. So let's get a good red. I'm gonna go with this tomato. And let's do tangerine. Sorry, I probably should have had these picked. You know what? Let me get these picked out and I'll be right back with you. Okay, all the colors are picked out. I've got a range from red all the way through to violet. And we're going to work on this rainbow. So I'm going to start with my red. And these are I keep saying Artilicious, but it's just Artlicious. So Artlicious Primo Soft, and this one's tomato. The only downside to these that I've found so far is I don't like that there's no color on the barrel. I'm not sure what the thinking was behind that. But even just like a dipped end would have been helpful because I have to rely 100% on the tips, and when you get into like the blues and purples, it's really hard to tell the difference. So you have to be very careful, very aware of what colors you're picking up. I think since these are kind of engraved into the pencil though, the words shouldn't wear off. The color shouldn't wear off. So, all right, let's get started with this rainbow. And our first question. So the first question is, do you have a certain place for coloring? And I do typically, unless I'm filming, which is at my craft desk in my lovely corner of the basement. I am usually sitting on the couch to color. I have a nice little lap desk that I got on Amazon. It's got a little pillow on the bottom and a decent sized surface on the top. And I use that quite often for coloring. The only time that I am at like my kitchen table or something is when I need to, excuse me, when I need to use like watercolors, or I have one of the big square books and I want to make sure that I'm using watercolor in there. But everything else, even you know, like neocolors and ink tents, things like that, because I'm not typically using like a jar with water. It's always usually the water brushes. I just do it right there on the couch. And that way I'm not down in my basement hole away from everybody. And it's way more comfortable because I can put my feet up. I can, yeah, I do like to color there. I'll probably insert a picture of the lap desk here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's really handy. Next question is, what time of day do you feel most inspired? And I think that really depends on the day for me. Some days I don't feel inspired at all. Other days, I'm definitely not a morning person, and then some days I wake up at 5:30 raring to go. So it really depends on the day on that one. Okay, I'm going to try to add a little bit of red to this one in the corners just to give it a little bit more shade. I'm going to add some to that red as well. I mean, I'm going to add another color to the red, which will be, I think, my violet. I'm going to try to add some violet in here and see if that doesn't make things too crazy. Now, I did push a little hard already with these pencils in the to get the vibrancy, so it's not wanting to blend super well, but that's not too bad. It looks a little more black than I would have liked, but not bad. I'll probably go back in with that violet and just get all of those colors in there. All right, next color, next question. Question 3, can you stop mid-picture or do you have to finish your page? And I am very okay with stopping mid-picture. I do try to leave myself notes about what I've been coloring. Like if I'm using specific pencils, I'll make a note of what colors I'm using. But yeah, I have so many works in progress that it's hard for me to count them. There's so many. And that's even with me just counting the ones that I would consider works in progress, not necessarily like in the Kirby books where I would go through and just add like a base of watercolor or something. I don't always consider those whips, but when I have more on a page, those I would consider whips. Still, too many to count. Okay, there's my yellow. Let's move on to the greens. I think these are, yeah, this is apple green and green. Next question is, do you eat or drink while coloring? And I usually have something to drink with me, whether it's a cup of tea like I have today, which I'm going to take a sip of right now. A nice chai with some milk and honey today. Yeah, I usually have something to drink with me. I don't typically eat. I'll take a break and go do something else while I'm, if I want to eat, I'll take a break from coloring. I make a little bit of a mess here and there, so it's probably not safe for me to eat around my coloring pages. Boy, these are going to be super primary rainbow, where this one's not so much. Darn it, I should have thought about that. Because now my colors down here, while they are in rainbow order, I should have done it just like the letters. Shoot. Still be a rainbow, still pretty. Okay. Get that one done. The next color we've got blues. So we've got blue and Dodger blue. And the next question was, do you listen to music or watch TV while you're coloring? The TV is on often in my house. My husband turns it on and just kind of leaves it on a lot of the times, which sometimes drives me crazy. Sometimes it's okay. But I usually will have YouTube on while I'm coloring. And then I also watch, I think I might have talked about this before, I watch a show called Critical Role. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game. And it's because it's so imaginative, everything, there's no graphics I need to pay attention to. There's no, characters usually that I have to pay attention to. Sometimes the voice actors will actually let me really get into the characters and act it out in front of you. So it's nice to see their faces sometimes, but for the most part, I can just listen to it and I don't have to pull my attention away from whatever I'm coloring. So I really like to do that. I don't listen to music a whole lot unless I'm in the car or cleaning. Those are the times that I usually listen to music. Okay, so the next two colors are Sapphire and Dark Mineral Blue. And the next question is, do you color one picture at a time or do you have multiple going at a time? And I usually have my focus on one picture at a time. I have lots of, like I said, lots of whips everywhere. But when I start to color a page and it's one that I definitely want to finish, then I will just color that page. So I wanted to use these pencils again because I used them in Magical Dawn and they worked pretty well. They do have, I can't always get a super clean line from them. That probably doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of the tooth is still showing through the paper. So the pencil doesn't want to get into the tooth very well. And I'm having the same issue on this paper. But again, this is Create Space paper, so it's not the best paper. And I could easily remedy that fact by using some kind of blending solution or even just a lighter shade of this color. All right, the last color is, we've got indigo and violet for the purple color. The next question is, do you color only at home or do you take it with you on the go? And I do both. Most of the time I don't take it to like doctor's appointments or things like that, but I will, or my kids' sporting events. But I will take it, like if I know that we're all going to the dentist and everybody's gonna be getting their teeth cleaned and I'm gonna be there for a while, I'll bring my stuff to work on. And then I drive my kids to school and pick them up, so I do have usually something small to work on in the car while I'm waiting for them to come out from school. But otherwise, it's at home. Like if we go on vacation, I usually bring stuff, but I don't always get to it because we're out, doing things and not just sitting on our butts. Trying to get this all blended. Yeah, that is super primary. Super duper primary. I'm a little disappointed with that. It doesn't look bad. I'm not saying it looks bad. I just wish that I would have thought about that a little bit better. before I just decided that that was the way I was going to go. All right, I'm going to see if I can find my white pencil and maybe lighten that up a little bit. I'm not sure how this is going to work either, but we'll see. Yeah, that doesn't really lighten it. And you definitely pick up the other color. Oh, I need a scratch piece of paper. That'll work. Okay, I'm going to start with the yellow so that I don't get into my... It does help blend it. The white of the Artlicious pencils helps to blend, but it's not... The white doesn't really lighten anything up. This is probably better used as like a colorless blender. All right, what's my next question? Let's see. What did we just do? Oh, so number 8, do you try to convince people in your life to start coloring? I don't go out of my way to say, hey, I'm a colorist. You should color. It's fun. It's relaxing. It's good for your mental health. But, you know, if people ask what my, you know, what do I do? I tell them I color, and then if they have any questions, I will usually talk a little bit about it. Close friends know that I've started a YouTube channel, and they're supportive of it, but nobody really, I don't think any of my friends actually watch it. I have one friend that I can color with on occasion. She's also the same friend that I would do some of my other crafts and stuff with. And another friend who I take my coloring stuff to her house, and then we just kind of chat and stuff while she does something else. And then my kids color occasionally, and my mom colors as well, but nobody's as crazy about it as I am. So I'm going to take another sip of tea here. Okay, that's super bright. I think I want to let's make this a blue color. So we'll just use one of those blues that I just used. Which one do I like? Let's see. Let's use this sapphire. Which one is that? This one. Okay. Yeah, next question was, do you go back and look at old pictures? Occasionally I do. Not often. I do scroll through my Instagram, back through my Instagram sometimes to see my older pages. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this page at all when I'm done with it. Darn it. That makes me bumpy. That makes me grumpy. Yeah, sometimes I'll go back and look through Instagram. A lot of the times I will run into my pages that I've completed when I'm going through it and looking for a whip that needs to be finished or a new page to color, you know, but I don't just pull out my books and sit and look at everything. Maybe once a year I'll do something similar to that, but just to kind of see what I need to color in. It was really eye-opening when I did my collection videos, because I realized how many books I haven't colored in and how many whips I actually have. So, okay, I like that one. Let's do, for dark, let's just do a gray color. I'm gonna have to sharpen this pencil really quick. Sorry about that. So I'm using dim gray for this dark here. It says, oh, last question. So it says, if you're not coloring, what other hobbies do you do? I am coloring a lot these days, so there's not often days when I'm not coloring. But my other hobbies are scrapbooking and card making, reading and drawing. I started scrapbooking a long, long time ago. I haven't done it very often lately. The one friend that I was talking about earlier, her and I used to scrapbook together at least twice a year. We would go on these retreats, and it was so fun, and we would be gone the whole weekend, and those retreats just kind of fell through, and then we would just do sorry, I have to focus here. Yeah, then we would just do like weekends where we would hang out and scrapbook together. And then we would do, I'm going to grab some lighter grays. I'm going to color some of these clouds in. Oh, that's a silver. That's not gray. Let's go with this one. So we would just kind of meet on the weekends and color a little bit. And then COVID happened, so we did do a virtual scrap day one time, crop day, I guess, better term for it. And it was fun. It didn't feel the same. I did right at the beginning of quarantine. I went on a huge scrapbooking binge and was doing nothing but that for several days, and I got a whole bunch of pages done, but I have not scrapbooked since then, which I really need to. I have this little craft area in the basement started out as my scrapbook area, and I have so much paper, just way too much. So I really need to use it. And then that seems awfully... Boy, this whole page is just not going well. I'm going to keep going. Okay, so next. Well, that was the last question. Oh, I was going to talk about some of the other hobbies I have. So card making, it goes right along with scrapbooking. I got into that about the same time. And then I usually make Christmas cards for everybody. I have tons of stamps. Lots of fun doing that. But once I'm done making those Christmas cards, I don't usually want to make a card again for quite a while. And then I also draw. I recently got back into that a little bit. Still not 100% confident with sharing my drawings. But I might at some point. Like I try to do like mermaid when it comes around and draw a mermaid a day, but I usually don't. Mine are usually just sketches. They're not full art pieces or anything. And then reading. I love to read anything fantasy, anything. Yeah, fantasy is really the main thing. And then occasionally I'll read a historical romance here and there. But those are few and far between. And if I read one of those, it has to be funny. I have to be able to laugh. So yeah, so that is all of the questions. I hope you enjoyed hearing my answers, and I hope you enjoyed me struggling immensely with this page. And yeah, that's about it for today. I'm gonna stop. Oh boy. Okay, so thanks so much for watching today, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.